What's going on, guys? Back again with another one, talking about health, wealth, happiness, success, getting money, getting rich, getting lean, being happy, all the great things in life, right? And in this video, I want to go over the understanding of the world, right? The understanding that the world is designed for you to be born to lose. That's what it is. You know, a lot of people feel like they're struggling in life. A lot of people feel like they just can't get ahead. The system is designed for you to lose. It is designed for you not to get ahead. So the faster you understand this, the quicker you understand this, the quicker you can figure out how to get out. At every which way you go, again, the system is designed to trap you. They cannot have the hamsters falling off the wheels or getting off the wheels, right? They can't have you escaping. When you understand this, right now everybody is hurting, or a lot of people, majority of people, especially in America right now, are hurting. This is supposed to be the country with the most opportunity, the best purchasing power of anybody in the world, and everybody's struggling, everybody's doing van life, everybody just can't get ahead. It's because the entire system is designed for you to lose at every single point in turn. And one of the biggest ways that people lose is just debt, right? Being in debt. What is debt, right? An indentured servant. It's slavery. It's servitude. You have to work and pay back your debts, and people never get out of that. Right now, the number one asset of the United States is student loans, right? They want you to go into school as much as possible. That's why they make up all of these BS degrees, right? You get it, BS degrees. And so you sign up and you take on this debt, and you're never able to even claim bankruptcy. You can't fall off, like it can never fall off, right? If you start a business and it goes under, you can claim bankruptcy and wipe that debt off, but you can't do it with student loan debt. It's done on purpose. And, it's crazy. It's like, even when it comes to how they trap you in the student loan debt, right? They won't give an 18-year-old $100,000 to start a business. You can't walk into a bank as an 18-year-old and be like, hey, I want to buy a house. Will you give me a loan? They'll be like, heck no, get out of here. But they'll allow an 18-year-old to sign up for $100,000 in student loan debt. It's a trap. The same thing with these cars, right? People switch up cars every few years. You never get from underneath that car payment. It's just, you have a forever payment, right? Just a permanent bill. Credit card debt. Like, that is one of the biggest ways the system keeps you down, is just debt. Even when it comes to food, right? The only reason people push that you got to eat 3 meals a day, make sure you eat a hearty breakfast, is because if you tell people that it's better to fast and then eat in the afternoon, closer to lunchtime, closer to noon is when you should have your first meal, when you should break your fast, that kills off an entire industry. Now you can't sell cereal. Now you can't sell milk. Now bacon goes away, pancakes, syrup, all of that you kill an entire industry for making money. You tell people to work out and eat better. Now nobody goes to the hospital. Everybody's living better. Everybody's getting some sunshine. People are feeling better. That means the pharmacy, people going in for pills, goes down. Again, the faster you realize the entire system is designed to entrap you, the quicker it is for you to wake up and get the heck up out of there. But they'll never tell you this, right? And people just get trapped over and over again. Because, again, you are a hamster. They need the hamsters on the wheels. They don't need you getting off the wheels. They need people taking out the trash. They need people becoming electricians and becoming, these meaningless, taskless jobs, right? They need somebody sitting there as a hotel receptionist at 2 o'clock in the morning when somebody goes and checks in. They don't need everybody getting off the internet, or not off the internet, but they don't need everybody getting off the wheels, right? And, this is one of the things that, the system, right? This is what Andrew Tate keeps talking about. I know everybody's like, oh, Andrew Tate, blah, 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 blah. This is why the system went after Andrew Tate so hard, is because he's telling young men to wake up. Hey, if you just make 5-10K a month online, you don't need to go to school. If you just get in the gym, you don't need to be in the hospital all the time. You don't need to be eating that junk food. And so the system is going after him. Now, I'm not putting him on any, I'm not trying to compare these two, but, it's always been like this, right? Socrates, thousands and thousands of years ago, everybody knows Socrates. He did the same thing. And the government, the powers that be, the system, the matrix, if you will, told him, hey, they're like, hey, Socrates, you got to, like, we love you, we respect you as a philosopher, but you got to get the heck up out of here. You're waking up the youth. And he said, no, I'm not leaving. They asked him to leave. And he said, I'm not leaving. And they said, listen, either we're going to kill you or you got to take some poison. And he said, I'd rather take the poison. I'd rather just go out on my own because I can't not try to wake people up. And so he died. And if you Google how did Socrates die, they said, he had to take poison and he pretty much killed himself because he was trying to wake up the youth. And the powers that be at the time, they said that he was corrupting the youth for trying to wake people up to get off the hamster wheels. Now, I can talk about this because only 3 people watch me, right? So, it doesn't matter what I say. But when you get to a high enough level, you can't challenge the powers that be. You can't tell people to get off the hamster wheel. Now, the system will allow you to just walk off, right? If you wake up and you figure it out, if you figure out how to get out, they will allow you to leave. They'll allow you to get off the highway. But as soon as you come back to the highway and try to wake up some hamsters, as soon as you come back to the highway and try to lead these sheep down another path, the system is like, oh no, buddy, you got to get up out of here. We can't have you doing this. So again, man, it's so crazy, and it seeps into every aspect of life, right? I got some of my favorite books. One of my favorite books is Fake by Robert Kiyosaki. He talks about the entire system and how it's all fake, man. The whole thing. Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. Your 401k is a Ponzi scheme. So how is Social Security a Ponzi scheme? Well, if you have a whole group of people who are working and they're all contributing to this one pot. You don't have a choice, right? It comes out of your check automatically. Everybody's contributing to this one pot. And then when people hit 65, you're able to pull from that pot. Well, back when it was designed in the 1930s and 40s, it was cool because it was designed for you to be able to pull from it at 65. Well, everybody was living at, the average age that people were living to was 62. So you had to live 3 years past the life expectancy to even be able to pull from it. So you had a large base of people that was contributing to this single pot and only a few small people pulling from it. Well, now everybody's living until they're 80, so you got more people pulling from it and less people contributing, and they're talking about it's going to go insolvent, which means it's going to go broke. That one pot is going to go broke by like 2033. So they're still pulling from our checks today, right? But we're not even going to be able to see it by the time we get up to that age. And then again with the 401k, people are just like, oh yeah, I'm contributing to my 401k, but they don't even know what they're buying, right? They're just putting money out of their check into their 401k, which all that's doing is you're just investing your money into stocks like Apple and Coca-Cola and Nvidia and Google. And all you're doing is, you're just propping up the system. Everybody is just blindly propping up the system. And so when they're like, oh, the American economy is doing great, it's just like, that's because you're pretty much siphoning everybody to prop up these companies, right? So even that's fake. The only reason these companies are doing good and are great is because everybody thinks that they're just contributing to their 401k. And with that, you gotta hopefully you're gambling that when it's time for you to retire, when it's time for you to pull from that 401k, that the economy is doing well, right? Those people that have been that were contributing to their 401ks for 30, 40 years, when they were ready to retire in 2007, 2008, and the economy crashed, and they seen their 401ks get cracked and go to half, right? It got cut in half when the economy crashed. They lost their houses, they lost their jobs. 401ks got cut in half. They couldn't retire, and so when you realize the entire system is designed for you to lose, the easier it is for you to figure this out, the easier it is for you to wake up and get out, right? Figure out what to do, figure out how you can get out of the system. And I always talk about this on the channel, right? There's people out there making $1 million a month. If you can just figure out how to make 5-10K online, you're out. That's it. You're out. You stay in shape, you get in the gym, you're eating right, you take care of yourself, your health is good, right? I'm almost 40 years old, and I'm looking better than half the dudes half my age. Like, what the heck y'all doing, right? Yeah, man, it's just when you realize the entire system is designed to make you lose, right? You're just born to lose, and the faster you wake up, the faster you can get out, the faster you can start figuring this thing out. Okay, I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know what not to do. I know what not, the landmines, right? Think of life as like a landmine field and you got to get to the other side. I know which landmines not to step on. I seen somebody step on that one. I ain't going over there. I see somebody step on that one. I'm not going over there. And so you're able to make these better decisions and get out, right? You can get off the hamster wheel. yeah, man, it's just so crazy. So many people just keep stepping on landmines, and they're just like, oh my God, like student loans. I'm in student loan debt, 100K, and I'm never going to be able to pay this off. It's just all like, you didn't know that before? Like, no, they don't. And then, you have these adults, these grown adults who are attached to the system, right? Who are making you, sign up for this stuff. You have these education advisors and these resource advisors at colleges that are signing 18-year-olds up for all of this student loan debt. Your parents are pushing you into college. Your co-workers and your bosses at your job are telling you, oh, just put money into a 401k. Just put money in, max out your 401k. It's just like, bro, like that's not gonna work. That's how you lose in life. You're not gonna get ahead that way. You're barely even gonna keep up that way. So yeah, man, the faster you realize that the entire system is designed for you to lose. Now, a lot of people, they do wake up. When they wake up, this is when you see people crashing out on TikTok, right? They're like, oh my God, I can't believe this and that and blah, 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 blah. Like, no, man, we don't crash out. We figure out the system. We figure out, okay, I get what's going on here. And we make the decision to do something else, to do something different. I see everybody going right. I'm going to go left. That's how you win. You don't get mad. You figure out the game and you figure out how to beat it. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and leave that one there. If you're still here, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, man. I want everybody to make it right, but you gotta wake up first, man. And waking up, it's a beautiful thing, right? Life becomes better when you wake up. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and again, I'm gonna leave that one there. Catch you beautiful people on the next one. Peace.